Good Saturday morning and welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray. Is this first Saturday? We are in February, and it means the Brother Darrell and Darrell show, and they're actually both here in the studio.
I had to get out and come down.
You did.
To count the potholes out. I had to get you to answer the
What?
question.
What's the question? What's the question? Yeah.
Did Larry Ray see his shadow on Friday?
That's true. Forgot about that.
That is true. Yeah. Well, my problem was, yes, I saw my shadow.
Oh,
Okay, I saw my shadow. So if you all believe in that, if PETA doesn't make us look out for some other way. But that is Dave Gabbard in from Lexington, Tennessee, down here. And we have the other form of the other team member, the Darrell and Darrell show, as we said, the man himself, Gene Smith's over there. Good morning, Gene.
Good morning, folks.
Glad to have Gene, who has been here with since we started this thing. Coming up on almost 23, 24 years. I get them mixed up sometimes, but good to have them in studio. And we're going to quickly zip on right out because I told this next guest that I was in deer depression and he was in deer celebration. So you know who this is. This is Dave Payne from Pipe Dream Farms Butchery, where I take my deer. And Dave, I know it's been a long, let's see, September, October, November, December, January, 5 months that you and Melissa and the family have been processing deer. So what was your thoughts on, let's say, Wednesday when 30 minutes after sundown and you realized it was over for you guys? Talk about that and also talk about what kind of year it was for you.
Yeah, it's bittersweet, at the end it always is. It's always great to see everybody and catch up and, watch the kids grow up every year.
Yeah.
They keep coming back. And so it's bittersweet when it's over, but it sure is nice at the same time. We get a little bit of break and we can do some more improvements on the shop before we get into cattle season and things like that. And, but yeah, it was great. Everybody really took advantage. The full season was wonderful.
Yeah.
We were blessed with a really, really, really good, busy season, and all the way up to the last day. I think the last week of that Monday, Tuesday.
Yes.
And so people were really taking advantage of everything all the way up to the last day.
Well, I know that. I had my 2 deer with my 2 shots and took them to Dave's and reaping the benefits of that. And Dave Gabbard's been by and saw some of that other things that some of that sausage, summer sausage.
Oh, yeah. He does a great job.
He does a great job on that. And we have recently, if it's not up today, it will be very soon. Some photographs that Ron Wong went up and spent some time at Pipe Dream Farms Butchery right there on Burroughs Cemetery Road, right out of Highway 70 and not far from Slingshot Charlie's. And you guys, the year when we look back on it, the ice and snow and everything that we had to get through with it, but it was a good year. And I don't know, CWD-wise, Dave, did you have very many of those?
Well,
how does that
work? We
work?
need to come up with a different plan because the only way we know is if the hunter tells us.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah,
okay.
So CWRA doesn't let us know. So from what we understand and what we can gather, you're looking at, less than 2%, of everything coming through here. And, when you're talking 2,000 deer, those numbers are very minimal.
Yeah, and I know next week's show we'll have Jeremy Dennison on from the TWRA, the field coordinator for the CWD, and we'll have him on. But now, so right now you're going to be open doing this, and then for a few days? A week, and then you're going to take some time off. What's the schedule for you guys?
So we're going to finish everything in-house. All the deer we have will be done by Monday morning.
Okay.
All
right.
We're giving everybody a deadline, of course, to pick up so we can shut freezers off and start cleaning the building and doing different things like that. And then we'll probably take a week off. But,
a week off.
we're gonna do a lot of improvements in here, so we won't be back up and running and selling any products till probably March.
Okay.
We're going to take all of February to do all that, but then, come March, we'll be back on custom sausage and bacon and, all the bratwurst and all the good stuff. And,
yes. Because a lot of people don't realize, I mean, you do pork, you do cattle. I mean, you do lamb. I mean, I think you do a little bit
We do it all, everything except poultry. And, we can schedule them a date if they raise their own animals.
There you go.
Or if they don't and they're looking for a rancher, we can put you in touch with some really, really great ranchers that do really good animal husbandry that
there
really
you go.
really take a lot of pride in the meat that they sell. So we got a lot of contacts that we can put people in touch with.
And really, what he does do poultry. When I was up there,
he was
cooking chicken nuggets.
we don't want that to be a specialty. Okay.
That's right. That's right. You
Dave,
gotta get.
Dave, we really appreciate you, Melissa. Thank you for being part of the Outdoors of Larry Ray team, buddy. And I'll be out there. Just hold that hoodie for me, okay?
I got it. We still got a few left, so I got yours put up, and still got a couple more T-shirts and hoodies left.
All right, buddy. Thank you. We'll probably see you down the road. Thank you, Dave. All right.
All right. Have a great one.
All right, Dave Payne at Pipe Dream Farms Butchery. Thank you, Dave, for being part of our team, and it's really good to have the team in here, Shelby, and have Shelby leading us off here. Shelby McCully, our show producer. And then when I got the call from Dave Gabbert that he was coming down and picking up Gene and being here on this Saturday morning, and Gene has been rehearsing his puns. You got us one, Gene?
Oh, yeah. I retired from the Memphis City school system.
Yeah.
Do you know where math teachers go on vacation?
Where do math teachers go on vacation?
Times Square.
Times Square. There you go. All right. Oh, my. Well, so we're going to have those throughout.
But don't bump.
But we're going to talk. Ron Wong, we hope, is in Caruthersville for the Grizzly Jig Spring Show. He's going to have some special guests on the next two segments. Then Will Fowler, our good friends from Frog Talks, we're going to talk not just rain gear. They got some boots out, folks, and I swear by their boots. And we'll talk to Will. And then Stuart Hooser. Gene ran across this gentleman, and he is the president of the Memphis Area Beekeepers Association. Been in doing beekeeping for 16 years. I don't know if all these years we've ever had a beekeeper on the show, but we talked about the importance of bees, not beeswax, but bees and what they mean and we think of honey, but Dave, you know that they're invaluable to the ecosystem too.
Oh, yeah. You got to have something to pollinate.
You got to have something to pollinate, so Stuart's going to talk about that, and then hats off to all you great folks at the Memphis Boat Show last weekend. Had a great time out there Saturday and Sunday. Thank you for Joella Bates being out, but I had a chance to meet so many new people that are going to be future guests on the show. And one of those is Dave McCully and his wife, who now run the Jenkins Fishing Service and Motel in Calico Rock, Arkansas, one of my favorite places for rainbow trout, capital of the famous White River is what they're on that I guess you'd call that, that's where the trout really start, at Calico Rock. So I get it mixed up where it's going up to the dam, and you're coming down the White River, and it goes right there, and there's a lot of trout caught. So we're going to talk to Dave, retired military person, in the last segment. So we're going to have a lot of fun.
At one time, many years ago.
Many years ago.
There used to be a ferry, I think.
There was a ferry at Calico Rock. That's right. And Calico Rock sits up on top of the hill just about, overlooks, well, those ferries all up and down the White River. I mean, I know we used to go across Lake Norfolk when I was in school back in Arkansas, and we'd take the ferry across Lake Norfolk, coming across the top of the state, and we were out there once when there was a storm, and you thought that the perfect storm, that ferry was bobbing up and down. But, yeah, you're right. Right there at Calico Rock, a great vista. I don't know, that's on the way to Batesville, up through the middle of Arkansas, Mountain View, and all that area. Got a lot of history.
I've got to pass on a warning to
Oh,
listeners.
uh-oh.
Coming down this morning.
Yes?
I know the weather's mild and people are hooking in boats up and headed to. Be aware, there's potholes out there
Potholes, really?
that you could lose your boat in.
You could lose your car in right now.
I went towards the Nashville area the other day,
Yeah.
and on the Interstate 40, one of the few times I've taken the interstate.
There's potholes on the
We
interstate.
have such a good back road system.
Yeah.
And it's pleasant to ride. But the potholes on I-40, getting up
Yeah.
the Tennessee River.
Yeah?
I counted 4 cars off the side of the road with tires.
Oh, boy. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
One car, his whole ball joint was caved up.
Oh, no.
Because of the potholes. Well, we pay the price for that week-long ice and snow and then jumping there to 6 inches of rain after 6
That's
inches of
right.
snow. And potholes are a part of our environment here, and that's created by the asphalt changing temperatures.
Right.
And they
rise
keep
and
patching
fall.
these and they patch them up.
Well, you get the little cracks in it, and the water gets down in there, and then it freezes, and then
Swells up.
Swells,
Yeah.
Makes the cracks bigger.
Well, I've never seen a sports team named the Potholes. That would be a good name for some baseball team. The Memphis Potholes.
The Memphis pothole.
And we could do that as something. All right, let's take our first break of the morning, and we're going to try to hook up with Ron Wong in a few minutes and roll more on Outdoors with Larry Ray. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. Good morning to all you good folks in Brownsville, 1520 AM, 95.3 FM, and, of course, Jackson on News Talk 101.5, and right here in Memphis on AM 790, 92.9, talking to you good folks. And we've got the big event. It's finally here. It's kind of like that commercial, Dave Gabbard and Gene Smith, where, they used to say, it's coming. It's coming. You see those billboards. And it's here. Then it'll say it's past. So we're in the middle of one of the biggest events in the Mid-South every year since its introduction, and that is the Grizzly Jig Spring Show up in Carruthers, Missouri. And, of course, we have our man on the job. Our man and the guru of Mid-South fishing for us is our good man, Ron Wong. And, Ron, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Larry, it's a beautiful morning here in Carruthersville, Missouri at the Grizzly Jig Show. And I tell you, I've got somebody here with me this morning that knows everything about it, and he is the man in charge, Wade Mansfield. Good morning, Wade.
Good morning, Ron. How you doing, Larry?
I'm doing good, and I know we talked to Wade not too long ago because we like to showcase this event because where it's been and what it's become. It's such an amazing event, and it's hard to describe, and Ron is on the scene. We've already had a couple of days going on with this show. This is the 21st year, right, Wade? Isn't that what we said?
Yes, sir.
21st year, and it gets bigger and bigger. So talk about what's going on today, Saturday, and what's going on Sunday.
All right, we're going to have seminars every hour.
Every hour. All right.
Yeah, with all the pros. And then we're also going to have Humminbird and Garmin seminars.
Oh.
Looks like on 2 times a day, 10 and 2 and 1 and 3.
And these guys, how many total seminars we got here, Ron? You've been up there. I mean, are we running what? If you do every hour?
They're hourly.
Yeah. There's probably at least 8 to 10 a day.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And these guys and persons that you have been, a lot of these guys have been coming. This is a who's who of the crappie world. And,
oh, yes, sir.
I mean, and these guys, I'm shocked. I'm not shocked. I'm just know that these guys, they're like, Ron's like a kid in a candy shop, I know, But these
yeah.
these pros look forward to this because, Wade, it gives them a chance to not only meet the public, but they get to talk together, right? I mean,
That's right. It's almost like a family reunion.
It is.
You know, a lot of these guys come in and they hadn't seen their buddies or guys they fish with in tournaments and, you know, since the last fishing trip.
And so, Ron, talk about being there. Ron, I know you. It's a short drive. Ron put it on the other day. He told me he had put it on cruise, heading up to Caruthersville about what are we saying out of Memphis?
About an hour and 35, 40 minutes. It's an easy drive, and I got to tell you something.
What's it like?
I have been like a kid in a candy store with all these pros and all these people here at Grizzly Jigs, and they've got a lot of giveaways that they're doing also, right, Wade?
Oh, yes, sir. We got all kind of giveaways from fishing chips, trips, and product.
It's amazing, and we know that in that facility off Truman Avenue Boulevard, I always get worried about what I'm calling it,
right.
but it is off Truman Street there in Caruthersville, right off the interstate, and like Ron said, right up I-55 or come out of Dyersburg, wherever it might be, and putting this thing together, Wade, to line up the seminars. How complicated is that? I mean, because you got guys that I'm sure want to be there, are there. Everything seems to stop.
It's just a scheduling thing. You know, everybody's got a lot of stuff going on. We just appreciate all the pros and guys coming out, working around their schedule to make it down here to this event.
And
go ahead, Larry. Ron. You know, talk about the Grizzly Jig Show here.
Yes.
I've got a couple of guys here that help make this Grizzly Jig Show something else. I got Jeff Smith.
Yes.
And I got Jack Wells both. Good morning, guys.
All right.
Good morning.
All right, Jack and Jeff. Sounds like some kind of game show. Okay,
it
so
does.
when it comes down to it. So this is from your perspective, Jack Wells, our good friend out of B&M Poles, out of West Point, Mississippi. Talk about this event, Jack, from your perspective.
Well, I mean, look, we love this event. We love to come up here and support Wade and his team. They do a great job of promoting this event. They carry everything. And, look, they draw a crowd from, I don't know, I'd say probably 25 different states during the course of the 4 days here. So it's an unbelievable event. Just gives us an opportunity to look at our consumers face-to-face, shake hands with them, and thank them.
And B&M, a lot of your pro staff are there, right?
Oh, yes, sir. We've got
how many pro staff you got here?
Well, I would tell you that throughout the next 4 days, we'll probably have at least 20 of them here, maybe 25.
Wow.
So yeah. And of course, they're the best. I mean, they
are the best.
They represent us well, and they know how to help the customer, and ultimately, that's what we're looking for.
How about you, Jeff? What does this event mean to you?
I'll tell you what, it means Les Smith and people like him.
Yes.
This is where I met Les Smith years ago, and when you come here, you get to meet people like him that you build lifelong relationships with.
You do.
So crappie fishing is a lot of fun, but it's a whole lot more fun with people. So you come up here with this great company that connects so many different people. It's about, I mean, good night. I've hugged a lot of people in the past, little bit here. It's just so much fun to see our friends and talk to them about what's going on in their lives and get to meet new customers. We meet new people every year here. So it's really about connecting with each other in this great sport that we get to all share in.
And, Jeff, you and Jack both share quite a few of these professional crappie fishermen, too. How do you guys go about doing that?
Well, we follow Jack's lead. B&M is the leader.
There you go.
And,
good answer, Jeff.
Him.
Good answer,
Jeff.
Jeff.
Don't ever doubt it.
Yes.
So just watch Jack, and what they've done at B&M is incredible. So we've been blessed to be a part of a lot of their pro staff. So that's how I do it. I don't know how Jack does. We have to find out the truth here now.
Well, I mean, obviously, Kent Driscoll, has played a big part in gathering our pro staff over the years. But, I mean, look, much like Jeff said, Jeff's got a lot of good people on his team, too, that, really enhance our brand and help us. So we feel like, where we've got those common staffers, it's a really good partnership.
We have two premier brands here in Crappie Magnet or Leland Lures and B&M here at the Grizzly Jig Show. What does the show mean to you, Jeff?
It tells us what our customers are seeing and doing. I mean, this is where we find out what the customers want, and we learn from them. So we see and hear what we need to hear as business owners. The bottom line is we want to catch fish, but we want to help them. And things are changing. I mean, the world of crappie fishing, if you're involved in it, has changed in the past 5 years dramatically.
Yeah.
So our product lines are changing. Our rods are changing. You look at stuff Jack has now. Mm-hmm. This show helped us do that.
Yes.
And so we learn a lot, for sure.
Well, let me ask, is Wade still there? Wade?
Wade is right here.
Let me ask you, Wade, from your perspective, this is a family affair, right, Wade? I mean, families come, they have a good time. So talk about the atmosphere at the show.
Oh, yeah. We love the kids. It's always a big family groups that come in. There's a lot of good stuff and a lot of cool people to meet. I mean, without all these people coming, we wouldn't be here doing what we're doing.
And what it's done over the last 21 years, I know the town of Caruthersville loves this weekend because it packs a lot. I don't know, what's the population of Caruthersville, Wade?
It's probably like 4,200.
Yeah, so how many people are you going to have come through there these 4 days?
I'd say probably 8 to 10, I hope. With this
double the population of Caruthersville then, right?
That's the plan.
That's pretty amazing. And, Jack, I know to you, I want to personally thank you for all the fishing lodges and things we've had at fishing rodeos from B&M over the years. And events like this is what you there's no competition here, folks. This is not and one of my favorite words besides food, I know for Ron, is free. And so, Jack, so talk about that, Jack, what it means to B&M to be there.
Well, just to echo what Jeff said, I mean, it allows us to get face-to-face with the folks that are using our product. And look, if you want to know something about your product, this is where you need to be. Good, bad, or indifferent, ugly, whatever. I mean, you're going to learn a lot about your own product, and you're going to learn a lot about what products you need to work on in the future. So, like I said, this is one of our favorite events of the year. We love being here.
Do you debut products at this event? Are there products that debut at this event?
In some cases, that might be the case. Generally speaking, I guess our debut would be at ICAST every year.
ICAST, yeah.
But as a general rule, I mean, when we have our most inventory of those items, it's at the show.
It's that show, yeah. Mm-hmm. And Wade, that was the way it was always envisioned by you and your dad Louie and the family, wasn't it, to make this?
Yes. I mean, we wanted to showcase crappie. I mean, when you go to ICAST, it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
The good thing about our show is if it had anything to do with crappie, we wanted to be the first ones to have it and the first place to see it.
Well,
Jeff, you got some new stuff here.
Yeah.
Every year, this is
it's actually 12 months to this right now that we showcased the eye-hole jig under the Crappie Magnet brand.
Really? Okay.
Like this.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to talk to the eye-hole guy.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that. But I know that you can get to Searcy. You can go to Searcy to Caruthersville, and you can get from West Point to Caruthersville, folks. This is the day to do it. It's a great Saturday here in Memphis and all the areas. Head on up there. This event will go through tomorrow. What time's Sunday is the hours up there, Wade?
Sunday hours are from 9:30 till the closing of the show at we'll start door prizes about 4 o'clock.
There you go, folks. You got plenty of time. Let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
I just want to thank Jeff.
Yes.
And Jack, B&M, and Crappie Magnet, and of course Wade for being on the show this morning.
Yeah, just take care of Ron.
Thank you for having us.
All right, buddy. Take care of Ron for me, okay? Be nice to him up there, all right?
We're trying.
I want a shirt from everybody. That's all I ask for. Okay, let's take a break. Right. Outdoors with Larry Ray. Be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this first Saturday in February. It's hard to believe this is a leap year month, guys. Dave Gabbert, Gene Smith. We do have the 29th this month, so that means an extra day for all of us to work. and do those kind of things.
Work.
But work. What is that? No.
Yeah, y'all keep working.
Yeah, just keep working. Hey, I'm having fun, and you recognize that laugh. He's been laughing on this show for many years, and that's our good man Ron Wong. And I hope you folks out there in Brownsville and Jackson and right here in Memphis had a chance to listen to the last segment. Of course, all these will be up on LarryRay.com coming up right now, and we're at the Grizzly Jig Show up in Caruthersville, Missouri. Ron is up there and just springing these guests in here as we go along. So, Ron, tell us what we got going on next.
Hey, it's been a great morning here at the Grizzly Jig Show, and I get a chance to see all of the different vendors and manufacturer representatives that are here, the pros and all of that. And right now,
yes,
we've got a couple of guys here. One is my favorite fishing line company ever, and also the originator, inventor of the eye-hole jig.
Yes.
And that's my friend Blake Phillips and Greg Minier.
All right.
With Vicious Fishing Line. Of course, we've had both of them on the show before. But, Greg, what's it mean to you to be at the Grizzly Jig Show here with Vicious Fishing?
Oh, we love this show. These guys have become a pretty good partner for us from a business standpoint, and then from my family standpoint, my kids are very upset that they're not here. They love me. So I'm already in trouble. I wouldn't let them out of school today. So, this is always a big show for us. We love to come down and hang out with the guys. So always fun.
And at Vicious Fishing, you guys have come out with a new panfish braided line too that you showed me.
Yeah. So, braid is a new thing in the crappie market. So had some guys looking for some high vis light lines, so we started at 5, 7, and 10. Has done well for us and is growing pretty rapidly. So glad Grizzly's carrying it.
Well, I can ask you, Greg, this show, and we talked about the family atmosphere and everything along that line. What does this show mean to Vicious, you guys?
Oh, like I said, the whole family aspect. These guys are a family-owned business as well, and so they understand who we are and we understand what they're doing, and they've been doing it a lot longer than we have. So it's kind of inspirational for us to be here and see what they've been able to accomplish as a family, and we can only hope that we can get there one day to be as big as they are.
Well, we kind of teased folks on the last segment about the eye holder, and we kind of put them on the spot here, not knowing we never know who Ron's going to run into up there at Caruthersville on the show. But I really want to talk to Blake Phillips. Blake, we've talked about this show and the importance for different companies. From your perspective, what does this show mean to you?
Oh, wow. I really have a very unique perspective, I think. Going from my backyard in the garage with my wife,
which I have visited,
which you had visited, which was a very, very, very small thing.
Yes.
To watch the brand grow and grow, and to be blessed enough for somebody like Jeff Smith to come along and not take the company from me, but merge with me and help me save the company.
Yeah.
And he's made the product better than I ever could. He's got the price point down, the quality there, the consistency there, the packaging's there. He took it to the next level that I would have never been able to do. And through the grace of God, he put Jeff with me.
And this show, what about this show? I'm always in awe. I'm always in awe of 10,000 people coming to Caruthersville once a year for 4 days, and for you to have a chance to rub shoulders with these guys, talk about that, Blake.
Ooh, man, I shake so many hands. It's so awesome. I love meeting people. I love meeting. I love hearing the fishing stories. I love everything about it because these people are so genuine. This fishing population of people are so genuine, down to earth.
Yeah.
And I was born a fisherman, and I just love it. I love everything about it. And that's all we talk about here.
That's all you talk about.
There's no politics. There's no football or anything like that. We're talking about crappie fishing.
Yeah, don't talk about Ole Miss football or anything like that. Get Ron out of the way,
No. It's fishing.
It's fishing.
It's all fishing.
It's all fishing. And again, we're talking to, we got Blake Phillips on there with us, and we got Greg Manure. And I know, Greg, as a fishing line, and Ron, you can ask this because I always let Ron. I try to interpret what Ron says because he can't figure out what I'm going to say. But I know from your perspective, all those crappie lures are all around you and everything like that, and hearing these guys talk and things like. You listen to the folks up there, don't you, Greg? I mean,
well, of course I listen to them. Yeah. It's as a guy that's in the fishing line business, it's pretty straightforward what we do. So when you come in here and see all these baits, and it's just incredible the options that are out there, and they all catch fish. It's unbelievable.
And Greg, one of the things that you and I talked about was consistency. Mm-hmm. You have a fishing line that is consistent year over year over year.
Absolutely, yeah. We take a lot of pride in keeping our product the same. We don't mess around with formulas. We're not going to change it.
No, that's good, yeah.
We've been lucky to be able to just maintain it for the last 15 years, really no changes in what we do and how we do it. So, in fact, we've been very fortunate. Prices haven't changed much on us, and supply chain was never an issue for us. So, very fortunate.
Let me say one real quick. You guys have the best name, I think, out there in the line business. I love Vicious. I love your marketing technique. I don't know who came up with that, Greg.
I'll tell you what, that was an absolute accident.
Oh, come on.
At least from the story that I've heard, it was a guy in a boat that said, "Man, that was a vicious strike," and somebody said, "Hey, I think that's the name," and then just hit a logo out of the park first round.
Sounds to me. It
was just meant to be.
I like that story and everything like that. But Ron, when you visit with these guys, and it sounds like everybody's just having a great time. I know that a lot of work goes into putting this thing on and wrapping it up together. From a perspective as just a fan, Ron, you did leave your credit card at home, didn't you, Ron? Okay, I mean you're not.
Yes, I did. Otherwise, I'd be broke.
Don't charge it to the show.
Wait, Blake is going to lend me some money. I don't have to tell you. There are thousands of fishing rods here.
Thousands.
There are thousands spools of fishing line. There's every crappie bait there ever
was or thought
in
about.
The world.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you something.
What?
If they don't have it at Grizzly Jigs, you don't need it.
You don't need it. So
and that's the best way I could say it. Blake, the eye hole jig.
Yeah,
just
talk
real
about
quick in about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Tell our listeners what the eye hole jig really is.
Yeah.
The eye-hole jig was designed there was a problem with the scent. When you put it on the hook, it would fall off. And so we designed it from frustration of my wife. Now you can put the scent inside the head itself. So there's no more wasting scent. There's no more one scent, one fish. You'll catch multiple fish on one piece of scent. And you can just send it and forget it.
And once again, a great name, too, the eye hold. We
have fun with that one. We have fun with the eye hole. That's a fun name to play with.
Yeah, you got to watch.
They work good in ice holes.
Yeah, that's right. You got to watch what you're saying there again. But hey, we appreciate all you guys being with us on Outdoors with Larry Ray. It almost feels like I'm there, and someday I will be there. But I appreciate you guys have supported this show too. I know, Greg, you have been on the show, and Blake has too, and it just seems like this is a family affair, and Ron has described it really well, folks. Not only that, but we're talking about an event that's free, but bring your wallet. Okay, help that poor Mansfield family. They just really need.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and
bless their hearts.
So cool.
Oh yeah, affordable.
Give an example of
what
some of your high vis line.
Yeah, our line's going to retail the quarter-pound spools are right at $8.
A quarter-pound spool.
I'm hearing that. Yeah. I'm writing that.
And we're at $1.99 all the way to $3.99. We got stuff starting at $1.99.
I'm writing all that down so when the prices go up, I'll remember this. Okay.
No, we're not greedy.
There you go. We don't want y'all to.
We went down. We didn't go up.
That's what we want and everything. But folks, head on up there today. You'll meet guys like Blake and Greg and Wade and his family will be out there. It's a family affair. And when do they close today on Saturday? What's the door shut time?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock today. You got plenty of time to get on up there.
Plenty of time.
And I guarantee you there's things up there that you're going to want to buy. for that a Valentine gift. That's what I'd like to, a Valentine gift. Go ahead.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And, Larry, you hit on something a while ago.
What's that?
Family.
Yes.
Greg and I spent a little bit of time this morning earlier talking about family, work life and family balance. And
yes.
And Blake's the same way. His wonderful wife, who I call Blake's wife, Reese.
Yeah.
But, you guys, family means everything to you right now, right, Greg?
Oh, 100%. My kids are at an age where I know I don't have a lot of time with them yet at home. So, yeah, absolutely. That comes first and foremost in our world is family.
And you have to leave them at home. Yeah, and you have to leave them at home. And, of course, I'm familiar with the folks out of Searcy, Arkansas, in God's country, Ron. I got to say that now, okay?
That's okay.
That's where I'm from, over in that area. But, guys, thank y'all. Have a great weekend. Ron, you take care of yourself up there. And we'll talk to Greg and you and Blake down the road, okay, guys?
Sounds great.
Thank you.
Thank you, bud.
All right, Ron.
Guys.
Hang in there, Ron. We'll talk to you next week, okay, Ron Wong? All right?
All right.
All right. Bye-bye. Ron Wong and the folks at Grizzly Jig. All right, we're going to take Grizzly Jig. I said Grizzly Jig. I didn't say Jiggly Jig. I did that one time before, but anyway. Drive on up there today, folks, and have a great time at Grizzly Jig at their spring show. All right.
Your listeners in Jackson, they can make it over
They can make over an hour from Jackson. That's right. All right, let's take a break, and we're going to take a break, and we're going to talk about frog togs. I'm a frog togs man, but I'm not just going to talk about their weather gear and things. I want to talk about their boots with the man himself, Will Fowler, president of Frog Togs, on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. We've been in Caruthersville, Missouri for the last two segments at the Grizzly Jig Spring Show. Try saying that a bunch of times, But Dave Gabbard and Gene Smith are actually here. They took a nap during the Grizzly Show, but they both want to learn more about Frog Togs. Of course, they both know all about the Frog Togs rain gear, but I wanted to talk a little bit about other things that this company, great company in Arab, Alabama, does. And who better to talk than our good friend Will Fowler? He is the president. That sounds pretty important. El Presidente of Frog Togs. Good morning, Will.
Oh, good morning, Larry. Good to be with you again.
Yeah, do you go by president there? Do they all, when you walk by, they said, there goes the president? No,
they've never called me anything quite that nice.
Well, you guys have done so much, and you've been an important part of Outdoors with Larry Ray for many years. It feels like since you started, just about, that we've had this conversation. But I know I made a mistake the other day, though, Will. I had on my rain gear from Frog Togs that we got up at Reelfoot at the outdoor event, media event that Gary Mason put on, and Ron Wong saw it, and I'm in trouble now. I'm in trouble because that's the greatest rain gear I've ever worn, and of course you made sure that we had a thunderstorm up there, so it worked out good. So I got to get back in that, but let's talk about the side part of Frog Togs that I think is very important. You guys have really stepped it up in the footwear part. So let's talk about that, the evolution of the Frog Togs foot gear.
Well, yeah, so back around 2004, 2005, Frog Togs started making hunting and fishing waders.
Yes, yeah.
And in that time, we become one of the world's largest manufacturers of waders, and there's only so much you can do with a wader to make it better and make it more comfortable. But the thing that you can control and the thing that you can continually improve is the boot on that wader.
Yes, yeah.
And so if you'll look at Frog Togs hunting waders over the past, 15 years, it's the boot has gone from this plain little, basic rubber piece to we got a real high-tech boot
on
all our hunting waders. Now, it's basically a shortened version of the Ridgebuster hunting boot, which is one of the most technologically advanced knee-high rubber boots that you can buy. When you look at the outsole, the midsole, the insole, the construction parameters on that boot, you can compare it to any boot on the planet, and it will have aspects that are far superior.
And you guys right now, now's a good time, folks. A lot of us are in duck and deer depression because it's over finally. January 31st was the last day for ducks and deer in our area here. So basically, if you've taken the boot off the waders and made your own line of footwear, right? I mean,
well, we've always had rubber boots, knee boots, and that sort of thing, but they've always sort of been an afterthought. What we did about 5 years ago is we really focused on. I mean, our initiative was let's build the world's best boot.
Yeah.
And so I mean, there's a lot of great names in footwear out there, and there's a lot of great boots to be had.
Yeah.
We're not a huge player in the boot market, but I promise you, if people put a pair of ours on, it will change the way they think about how a rubber boot should perform, how it should fit, how it should feel, and how it should function.
And how important, Dave Gabbert, when you're out in the hinterland, whether you're duck hunting or everything else, how important is your boots?
Oh, real important,
Real important. Yeah.
You want something that'll hold up, not rip out on you, first time you're out there. Wet feet is no fun.
And that's the basic for you, right, Will, to make the comfortable shoe, but at the same time make it durable, make it lasting, and keep a good price. And I think you guys have done that.
Yeah, I mean, it's you look at the technological advancement in all the rubber boots over a period of time, and they've gotten expensive, but they've also gotten, they last years.
They
don't wear out. They perform. It's a far better product now than it was even just 5 years ago.
That's pretty.
We've got a men's Ridgebuster snake boot that looks, feels, wears, and performs just like a lightweight rubber boot, but it's 100% snake proof.
I saw that. And of course, for all of you that grow up, and I love the turkey. My wife says I can't vacuum the den, but I can crawl 100 yards on my belly at 80 years old to try to kill a turkey. And I look at these things, the evolution of that. Just go to that by itself, from the old lace-up snake boots that you used to have to wear. It took you about 30 minutes to get them all laced up and everything. And you wondered who demonstrated those things, who tested them in the field. And I'm sure that Will's is the snake boot tester for frog togs. But
we use balloons for that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, but those snake boots are cool looking, and you've kept that. Is Mossy Oak Bottomland? Is that your main pattern that you basically use? Will?
Well, Bottomland is it's one of those patterns that has absolutely stood the test of time. There's original Bottomland and there's new Bottomland, and you see a little bit of both out there. But Bottomland's got a great following, but we offer those boots in Realtree as well. The Edge has been their primary pattern, just got replaced by APX.
That's
and then
right.
They just launched the new Realtree 2.
And you guys are right now online. You got some sales going on too, right, Will?
Well, we always try to keep some great sales on the website for people. When you get past duck and deer season and you get really depressed, the thing that really picks you back up is going out there and buying you a new pair of boots and buying you some new gear and then using it for turkey season, and then maybe do a little weed eating in them, to break them in for the next season.
Well, I know that I've looked on the site. In fact, I did this morning. Folks, there's some great sales in there. A couple of shoes that I have I really like those Rascals or Roscoes. What are those things?
Yeah, the Roscoes, the little slip-on camo shoes.
That is my favorite, man. After walking around in boots, I slip on those Roscoes, and it's almost like and they're in today's time. You're selling to people that don't even hunt because they're cool. They're cool looking. And
oh yeah. Yeah, that little grinder deck boot that we make, those things are almost a fashion statement now. Everybody's got one. We put a really good insole in that as well. My favorite boot, we were talking about the Ridge Busters. My absolute favorite boot we've ever made is the little men's Ridge Buster ankle boot.
Yeah, I saw those.
Little 5-inch tall boot that you can actually slip on and off. You don't have to pull on and off, but they fit like a tennis shoe, like an athletic shoe.
Yeah.
And the best pair of chore boots and camp boots that have ever graced the face of this planet, in my opinion.
Well, I know you guys have been very supportive of Outdoors with Larry Ray. All that. I've got on a pair right now, Frog Talks, black. I don't know. I think I got them from you sometime in here, and I wear mine all around. I wear them to church even. And
that's a Gary Mason deal there.
Yeah, and it's got the gray insole with the black top, but a lot of and like I say, folks, Frog Talks is so well known. Of course, I carry them in my golf bag, and I also have them in the other things. But if you go to frogtalks.com, and that's 2 G's and 2 G's, that's the name itself, and it's right there in Arab, Alabama. So y'all are close to what? What's the big town? What is it? I can't remember.
Well, the biggest geographical feature your listeners would probably be familiar with would be Lake Gunnersville.
That's it.
Right 10 minutes away.
Yeah, and they have. So what is the list right now of items that you guys carry? How many?
Oh my gosh, we've probably got just in 2,700, 2,800 SKUs.
That's amazing.
Different SKUs.
That's amazing, folks. Because when you started, and I remember back in when did y'all kick off?
96.
96, and Will's been a part of this since he was a kid. And somebody told me, even on Facebook, you guys have gone crazy. So many followers you have on Facebook. I know at one time. Y'all had 90 people or so working. I don't know how many you got now. What are y'all working at?
Well, we had 90, but we've changed the way we do some things, and we've sat right at between 75 and 80 for about the last 5 years.
That's great,
even with the growth.
But you started with how many?
Oh, let's see. I can name them. It was Lisa, me, Ralph, Jerry, and Chris. There was 5 of them.
Did y'all hear that? He's got their first names down pat and everything like that. But, okay, so they go to frogtalks.com. Is that right, Will?
Yeah, go over there. You can spend all day looking around, but, I mean, we've got the cooling products, the waders, the rainwear, the footwear, the
hat, the cap. I like the cap. I got my cap, too. I mean, the little...
Don't forget tackle storage and tackle management.
Yes.
We've got all that, backpacks, hunting packs and bags, bow bags, travel bags. Y'all can just take the wife over there at frogtalks.com and shop for a couple of hours.
Now he's done ruined it now. So take the wife over there. I mean, you got to watch what you do. But anyway, Will, thank you, man, for being with us. We'll stay in touch, and I've already picked out 2 more things. I'll be talking to you, okay?
Well, thanks, Larry. Just send us your list, brother.
I'm the man. That's right, at Frog Talks. Thank you, Will. All right.
Please. See y'all.
Will Fowler. Frog Talks. I love Frog Talks. All right. I need a joke over there.
You need a joke? Okay. You know why football players don't get hot?
Why do football players not get hot?
They got so many fans.
That was me. Okay. All right. How we doing on time, Shelby? Is it time to take a break? All right. Now we're going to come back right now with the first time in the history of Outdoors with Larry Ray. What are we going to talk about, Dave Gabbard?
Insects.
What, did you be quiet? What are we going to talk about, Dave Gabbard?
We're going to talk about bees.
Bees?
Not birds.
Not birds.
Bees.
Talk about the birds and bees.
Birds that eat bees.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. Good morning to all you good folks in Brownsville, 1520 AM, 95.3 FM, Jackson, Tennessee, News Talk 101.5. Of course, right here in Memphis on AM 790, 92.9 HD FM. And, of course, you can hear Outdoors with Larry Ray every Saturday morning from 9 to 10:30 right here in Memphis. And I think we're making history, Dave and Gene, on this next segment.
I think it's I like pieces like this.
This is
going to
be,
yeah. Like
and Gene, I appreciate you setting this up.
Yes, sir. I have several friends in the Beekeeping Association.
Well, we're going to talk to a gentleman right now, Stuart Hooser. Is that the way you pronounce it, Stuart?
Yeah, it's Stuart Hooser. It's like a Hoosier without the I.
Okay, well, that's good. He's not from Indiana, I don't think. But anyway, Stuart Hooser, he is the president of the Memphis Area Beekeeper Association. They got a big day that's coming up today, but I'm looking forward to talking to Stuart about beekeeping. And I know Gene is involved in the outdoors, and people say, well, beekeeping's in the outdoors. And Dave, you keep of it because the bees are not just valuable, and we think of honey, but we also think about what the bees mean to the outdoors world.
Oh, yeah. Just think about what you wouldn't get pollinated if you didn't
have
bees.
the bees. So for that matter, Stuart, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Memphis Area Beekeepers Association, for which you are the newly elected president.
Yeah, for better or worse, I am. But thank you for the opportunity to talk a little bit about honeybees. We don't realize how important they are. About 80% of what you eat is directly attributable to the honeybee with the pollination.
There you go.
And we have a byproduct of honey, which we all enjoy. So it's a very exciting hobby. It's something you never quit learning about. And if you like the outdoors, it's a great place to be.
And you've been doing this for about 16 years. How did you get involved with this?
Well, I came to the Memphis Area Beekeeper Short Course, and we usually give away a couple of hives and bees. And I was fortunate to win a hive, and I decided that somebody was trying to tell me something. So I currently have about 20 hives.
So you've been in it about 16 years? I think that's what you told me. Yeah?
Yes, sir. I have about 16 years, and I enjoy it, and I never quit learning.
All right. Well, talk about what's going on today, because you guys have this is a big day for y'all.
It is. Once a year we have a bee short course, and we attempt to tell new beekeepers or people that even want to learn about bees everything they need to know to get started. We have vendors there that will offer equipment. We have honeybees for sale, and hopefully by the time they get to the end of our course at about 3 o'clock, they'll have a pretty good idea if they want to be in the beekeeping business or not.
Yeah, and where is that going to be located today then?
It's going to be at the Agri Center in Building C.
Agri Center in Building C, okay. Yeah.
And we'll start registering about 8 o'clock, and it'll last through about 3 o'clock, and the cost is $15. Yep. And you're a member of the club for a year.
$15, and Gene, you've been around a beekeeper. Dave, you have too. Yeah. These are important folks that maybe
beekeepers. You know, the people that get into bees like Stuart. They fascinate me. You know,
why?
Just to listen to them talk. You listen to them talk. You don't. You know, when you think of bee, it's a bee, but all the different species they have out there, and what amazed me, I was talking to a beekeeper one time, and he was talking about he's having trouble with some of his bees with, you know how small a bee is. Yes. But he was having trouble with trachea mites.
Right, yeah.
Think of how small a mite's got to be to get in a bee's trachea.
Well, we've got a couple of problems that are always a real headache for us. One of them is called a varroa mite, which is a tiny little bug that gets on the bees and it sucks nutrients like any parasite. And we're kind of confronted with killing a bug on a bug. And,
And what they do is when they suck nutrients from our bees, it causes them to have, they're weaker. And then we have like 15 viruses that can attack them. And when they're in a weakened condition like any of us, they get sick. So that's part of our collapse problem we've been having.
And of course, this is something that's been around a lot of years. I mean, you can trace the history of this, I guess, all the way back to the Egyptians or whatever it might be. Stuart, I mean,
well, we've had honeybees for forever, and they found some honey that's in one of the tombs that had been there over 1,000 years, and it was still edible. But these new pests arrived in America in about 1990, and it changed beekeeping as we knew it before. Trying to figure out how to control these bugs, and these mites get resistance to whatever chemical we're using, and it's only effective for a year or two. So it's a problem, and the small beekeeper is the one that has taken up the slack, because these commercial guys just get killed every year with these losses.
Yeah, and again, we're talking to Stuart Hooser with the Memphis Area Beekeepers Association on Outdoors with Larry Ray. And I know, what's the kick you get out of it, Stuart? Why do you enjoy doing this? You said you got how many, 20 hives? Is that right?
Yeah, I get a kick out of trying to keep them alive, and then I get a kick out of trying to sell honey to people, because I've met some of the most interesting people selling honey you just won't believe.
I can imagine. And this is open to anyone, right? I mean,
it's open to anybody that wants to come and learn. And keep in mind that a honeybee makes about 1/8 of a teaspoon of honey during her lifetime. She lives about 6 weeks in the summer months, and she'll fly about 500 miles before her wings wear out and die. And during the winter, they make fatter bees that can live through the winter months in this cold weather we've been having.
Wow. Well, that's just fascinating. Information, folks, we like to pass along on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and Stuart's gracious to come on this thing. You guys meet once a month, is that right? I mean, you have monthly meetings and things?
Yes, sir. We meet the second Monday of each month. Kind of look at our website, memphisbeekeepers.com, to check the location, because sometimes the Agri Center is busy and we can't get there. But we start at 7 o'clock, and we usually have 100 or 150 people there, and we have a great time and great fellowship.
And how many would you think you might have today, Saturday, at your program? How many are you hoping for?
We're expecting at least 200.
That's just amazing. That the interest there, young and old. I guess you want kids involved in this, because they're the ones that got to pass it down, right, Stuart? I mean,
absolutely. I mean, they don't need to look like me. I'm almost 71 years old, and we need the youngsters involved, but they like to punch on those devices rather than get in the outdoors sometimes.
That's right.
What is the worst month of the year, for bees? Going, the time of the year.
Yeah, I'm just wondering about this recent cold spell we had for 6 days.
The recent cold spell has been rough on our bees, but what they do is in the wintertime they get in a big cluster, and they wiggle their wing muscles, and they attempt to keep the hive at least at about 75 degrees, and if they have any babies in there, they'll try to keep it at 93 degrees.
Wow.
And they burn a lot of calories, so we have to watch them to feed them, and if they get behind on feed, they'll die.
So what's the basic? How do you get started in this? I know I got a lot of listeners out there. What's it cost? I mean, talk about that for just a few minutes here.
Well, you can start off pretty light. You're going to have to buy a bee suit, and that's going to cost you about $175 if you get a good one.
Yep.
And you're going to want a smoker, and you're going to want some other various equipment, and then the hives are you could get started for probably $75 or $80.
Okay.
And then to buy a nucleus colony will cost about $150.
Okay.
But you're looking between $500 and $1,000 if you want to do it correctly. And a lot of people like to have 2 colonies to get started so they can compare the two. But you can start off. You can go around and catch bee swarms and not have to by the bees, and that's a tremendous savings.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And you can, again, we're talking to Stuart Hooser with the Memphis Area Beekeepers Association here on Outdoors with Larry Ray. And I know that, have you been stung, Stuart?
You know, the first time you get in some honeybees, it's kind of a unique experience. You feel like you kind of want to go somewhere else, but if you've got good protective equipment, I was in the honeybees all last summer, and I suspect I got stung no more than 5 or 6 times, and that was because of my own stupidity when I didn't zip a zipper or something.
Yeah.
But you know, that's something that comes with experience. In the middle of the summer, there's about 65,000 bees in one of those beehives, and
65,000.
It's kind of phenomenal. So it's not bad as far as the stings. You just have to work with them.
I know when I was working, we used to keep a list of several beekeepers in West Tennessee in the different areas because people would call in to the regional office, TWRA. They think bees, it's wildlife stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a bee swarm. I got this whole gang of bees. They say, okay, well, the girls up front, and one of them, she was into bees. She would, pass these names on. Call these people. They probably take care of you for it. Come out and get the swarm.
As a matter of fact, I think I talked to her one time. But we maintain a swarm list on our website, and if people have a swarm in the yard, please don't spray it. Call us because we'd love to come get them out of your way.
All right, give us that website again, Stuart.
It's memphisbeekeepers.com.
That's it, folks, memphisbeekeepers.com. Go to it. Stuart, thank you for being with us on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and you made a day, buddy. It was a great segment. Good luck today at your event, and we hope to talk to you down the road again, okay?
Thank you for the opportunity. Y'all have a great one.
All right, thank you. All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM.
Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we cap today's show in what we call the fastest 90 minutes. And
it goes by.
And outdoor radio programming because Shelby McCall keeps us going.
She's got the finger.
She's got
it
there.
Will point you.
She is on the pulse. And, of course, Dave Gabbard and Gene Smith is our co-host. And it's great to have Dave in studio with us on this Saturday morning. And I know this next segment I'm looking forward to. Had a chance to meet this gentleman and his wife last weekend at the Memphis Sports and Boat Show out at the Agri Center. They had a booth, and a lot of you folks out there from Memphis are familiar with Jenkins Fishing Service and Motel over in Calico Rock, Arkansas, God's country over there. And I love their address, 100 Mullet Landing in Calico Rock, Arkansas, right under the Highway 5 bridge. And me and Dave were talking about there used to be a ferry across there, but happy to have with us Dave McCully. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing great. Appreciate you doing this. Let's talk about the facility itself and Dave's background. Tell our listeners a little about yourself, Dave.
Well, I grew up over in northwest Arkansas, but I fished here with Jenkins Fishing Service since I was probably 6 or 7. After college, I did 22 years in the Army, and my wife had 24, and we retired and was ready to come back home to Arkansas. This opportunity presented itself, and luckily my wife said go for it, so here we are.
And your wife's name is?
Michelle.
Michelle. And how long y'all been married?
We've been married 17 years.
17 years, and she did outrank you. You did tell me that, right? I mean,
yes, sir. She had data rank on me.
You don't even have to be in the military to be outranked.
No, you don't.
That's true.
Yeah, that's pretty scary. We want to talk. But where you're located, of course, Jenkins has been around since 1958 by Guy and Eva Jenkins, and a lot of us folks are familiar with that name. But you guys have come in now. Obviously, you love what you do. you're in a great place to do it. So talk about the facility itself and why you guys decided to buy it and move there.
Well, Jenkins has meant so much to me growing up, fishing with my dad. He fished here with his dad and his uncle before that.
Yeah.
And, like I said, I was ready to come back to Arkansas. Calico Rock is a beautiful place. We're located halfway between Mountain View, the home of folk center,
yes,
folk music,
yeah,
and Mountain Home, Arkansas. And Calico Rock on the White River is a hidden gem.
It is.
The fishing is tremendous down here, and anything, the browns, the rainbows, and we got some nice fish. Especially ones kind of hanging around my dock.
And that's really where it starts, right? The trout fishing part. I mean, really.
Yes.
It's such a wide expanse when you compare it to up toward the dam and the other places like that. But it's such a beautiful spot. The location you guys have had, and you've put some heart and soul into this. What do you offer to people when they come over there?
Well, in addition to the motel, we have a 9-room motel, and through our fishing services, we offer guided, both full-day and half-day guided trips.
Yes.
For 2 and 3 people, and then we also offer boat rentals.
And
so
you've got all of that in the spot, Calico Rock. Why was that so appealing to you, that area?
The bluffs here are just so beautiful.
Yes, they are.
And to be honest, I would dream of the bluffs when I was in Iraq.
Oh, really?
And so
okay. Yeah.
I think I was kind of destined to be here.
So how many tours overseas did you do?
I did 3 trips to Iraq, and my wife had 1 to Iraq and 1 to Afghanistan.
Well, we salute you guys for your service to our country, and I can't imagine what it was like over there and to be where you are now in God's country. And I will say that the McCullys were there with me at the church service with the vendors on Sunday morning. I appreciate y'all being a part of that, Dave. You got to see who I am better than you would have heard me on the loudspeaker. That everybody kept saying he's too loud or he's too soft. Or
no, he probably said he sounds taller on
He
radio.
sounds taller. Everybody thinks I'm 6'4", 220. But the Jenkins name, you decided to keep that. Because it's a well-known facility, but you guys have come in there and done a little work yourself and made it available, folks, that if you want to make the drive to Memphis, and I think, what is it, 3 hours or what is it?
A little over 3 hours.
A little over 3 hours, a scenic route, okay, definitely. Highway 5 comes right out of my hometown of North Little Rock, and if you want to go to Mountain View, as he said, for the music, the great music that Mountain View has, and, of course, Mountain Home is for the Big Lake folks up there. But this facility, so talk about February trout fishing on the White River at Calico Rock. Is there a chance to catch a big one, Dave?
Oh, yeah. The winter is some of the best fishing for the bigger fish. We have been seeing a lot of browns, brown trout, 18-plus inches.
Okay.
One of the gentlemen today that was out caught a 29-incher.
There you go, folks. Hear that? Yeah.
And we're seeing some nice rainbows. The advantage of Calico Rock is, we're like I said, we're a hidden gem. We don't have the pressure here. And in the winter, the fish are just eating and growing.
So how long does it take for that current to get you at Calico Rock from the dam?
From Bull Shoals Dam, what they do up there affects us in about 15 hours.
See that, folks? Yeah, 15 hours. So you keep track of that, I know.
Yes, sir.
When you're doing it. So what's a typical guide service? What happens on the guide service?
Well, we start out about 7:30 in the morning. You'll head out. Our guides will provide everything you need, bait, everything, and you'll focus. Initially, you'll focus on at least catching enough fish
to eat
for your lunch.
Yes, yeah.
So we can do the shore lunch, and then if you want to focus on bigger fish, then we can shift focus later on.
So you do have the shore lunch, and you do catch your fish. So do you do any guiding yourself? I mean,
I can, and I have a little bit.
But you have guides there, right? You have guides that,
yes, sir.
know that river. I mean,
oh yeah,
It is different from fishing. If you fished on up the upper part of the White up there, this is a lot different, folks. It's a big river, and you guys know the spots and things along that. So what is basically, or what type of fishing are you doing in February? Are you drifting? What
we're doing? Right now we're doing some drift fishing with or without an inline spinner.
Yeah.
We use a couple of our version of eggs that we like to use in shrimp.
Okay. And shrimp. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, we tip it with shrimp, and that does really well. In addition, we can throw some artificial lures. When the water is low and clear, the spoons work really well, 1/4-ounce spoons.
Yeah.
And today, when the water's a little bit up, we're about 6 foot today. Things like Rapala countdowns work really well.
Okay. All right. So you don't really have to have a lot of experience, folks. But if you're going on that river, you need to take a guide out. I'm just telling you that if you've never fished the river before. And I do notice on the brochure, Dave, and we'll let you go real quickly here, that you do have some package deals for military, veteran, and first responders, right? I mean,
yes, sir. We offer a discount.
That's pretty cool. I like that you do that. If anybody ought to know about that, it's you, being what it is right now. So how does our folks get information about you?
We have a website, JenkinsFishingandMotel.com. We're also on Facebook at Jenkins Fishing Service and Motel. You can always reach us. The dock phone number is 870-297-8181.
We're going to keep up with Dave with hopefully monthly reports from over there, from that part of the river. And a lot of times we neglect that area, but I got folks out of Memphis, Dave, that love to come to Calico Rock because it is a little shorter than coming up to the other big part of the river. And you guys, I notice here, you can get a half-day trip, folks. You can get a full-day trip, 2 guests and a guide, very reasonable price here, and it's a cool place to be because that water temperature, Dave, what is it right now? What does it run year-round right there, you think?
Right now it's probably in the low to mid-50s.
Yes.
And then in the summer when it's 100 degrees, the water is usually in the mid to maybe upper 60s on a really hot day.
Wow.
So the water's very comfortable.
It's very comfortable. Dave, thank you, buddy. Dave McCully, appreciate you. And, folks, we've got all this information on LarryRay.com. And hope to see you soon, Dave. Okay, buddy?
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Have a great one. All right.
You too.
Okay.
Bye.
All right, Dave McCully. And our guys
and I used to get a lot of calls in the office talking to people from out of state, and they talking about different areas coming in.
Yeah.
Of a trip, and I said, well, have you ever been in this area before? No. I said, well, here's some guides I would recommend. And it's not something, I said, your trip will be much better.
Yes.
You've never been in the area.
No.
With somebody who knows the area.
Yeah.
And knows all the in and outs. People, like Reelfoot used to get a lot of calls. I said, have you ever been on Reelfoot before? I said, no. I said, call a couple, here's some guides up there.
Yeah.
I said, the only thing you're going to do is come to Reelfoot. If you don't know it, you're going to tear your boat up.
Yeah, you're going to hit a few stumps.
You're going to hit a few
Amen
stumps.
to that.
And everything.
I've hit a few stumps myself.
And you're going to cost, it'll cost you 3 times as much the time you repair everything.
And he's got guys, these guys know the lakes, they know the river, right? Yeah. Dave's group, they know they know where the holes are.
And you look at some of them, the cost of and you get a shore lunch.
Yeah. You can't beat it,
You
Joe.
can't beat it.
All right, Gene, we need another one before we got to get out of here.
All right, you know what you call a person who wears a bunch of watches around his waist?
A person who wears a bunch of watches around his waist. What do you call him?
A waste of time.
A waste of time.
And today's my son Russell's birthday.
Happy birthday, Russell. Yep. Okay, 25 today again.
And
right?
And with you seeing your shadow yesterday,
yeah, I did.
That means spring will be here in about 6 weeks.
I can't wait.
Around March the 21st, give it or take.
I got me a whole bucket of golf balls in the mail the other day.
All right.
LostGolfballs.com. Let me tell you about next week's show real quick because Shelby says you got to get out of here. Dina Vick going to be on with us, talking about the Cass Kings. Lynn Alford, Vice President of Memphis Amateur Sports Hall of Fame, will be on next week as we talk about our own Gene Smith going into the Memphis Amateur Sports Hall of Fame on March the 18th. Congratulations again, Gene. And then we'll talk about the annual Davis P. Rice Youth Waterfowl Hunt. And it is Youth Waterfowl Weekend going on today and tomorrow. Dave, thank you, buddy.
Yep, it was good to come down.
It was good to come down. Gene Smith.
Yes, sir.
Faces.
Enjoy the course.
And Shelby, thank
always
you.
good to see Shelby.
Yeah, always good to see Shelby. All right. Let's take it out of here and say it doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. And what else?
God bless the USA.